Today we're going to discuss what I call the deep ocean blueprint. At its core, this framework is about changing the way we think about growth. Too many businesses compete in crowded markets where everyone is fighting over the same customers, using the same tactics, and competing on price. That approach eventually compresses margins and limits opportunity. The deep ocean blueprint presents a different path. Instead of competing harder, we compete differently. Instead of chasing existing demand, we create new demand. And instead of relying on one customer interaction at a time, we build systems that allow one message, one process, and one strategy to reach thousands of people simultaneously. Throughout this presentation, I'll show you how to identify underserved markets, create compelling value, build trust at scale, automate customer acquisition, and develop a business that continues growing long after the initial work has been completed. This isn't simply another marketing strategy. It's a blueprint for creating sustainable competitive advantage. This is Steve Koleno, and this is Confidential Remarks. Everything in this presentation builds from one simple equation. Blue Ocean strategy identifies opportunities where competition is minimal because customer needs have not yet been fully addressed. Instead of entering an already saturated marketplace, we intentionally seek spaces where we can create new value and differentiate ourselves from everyone else. However, finding an opportunity is only half of the equation. The second component is the one-to-many framework. This is where technology, automation, digital marketing, and scalable systems allow us to reach thousands or even millions of potential customers without requiring a proportional increase in time or resources. When these two concepts work together, something powerful happens. We are no longer competing against everyone else in an overcrowded marketplace. Instead, we become the organization defining the market while simultaneously building systems capable of serving that market efficiently. That's what creates the ultimate competitive advantage. It's not simply having a better product. It's having a better strategy combined with a better delivery system. Before we determine where we want to go, we first need to understand where we currently are. Most businesses operate in what is called the red ocean. They compete against established competitors, fight over existing customers, lower prices to remain competitive, and slowly watch profit margins disappear. Growth becomes increasingly difficult because everyone is offering nearly identical products or services. A blue ocean is fundamentally different. Instead of competing for existing demand, businesses create entirely new demand by solving problems in innovative ways. They focus on delivering unique value rather than simply offering lower prices. Notice how every category on this slide changes. The market focus changes. The competitive mindset changes. Demand creation changes. Pricing power changes. Businesses operating in blue oceans earn stronger margins because customers perceive significantly greater value. The goal isn't to become slightly better than your competitors. The goal is to become so different that traditional competition becomes largely irrelevant. One of the biggest limitations to business growth isn't demand, it's capacity. Traditional one-to-one selling depends on individual conversations, manual outreach, personal appointments, and continuous effort. Every new customer requires another investment of time, which naturally limits growth. Eventually, you reach a ceiling. One-to-many selling removes that limitation. Instead of repeating the same conversation hundreds of times, we create systems that communicate our message consistently across websites, webinars, email campaigns, social media, digital advertising, and automated customer journeys. One well-designed message can educate, persuade, and convert thousands of prospects simultaneously. This creates tremendous leverage. It also creates consistency because every prospect experiences the same high-quality messaging, regardless of when they enter your sales process. Businesses that master one-to-many communication don't simply work harder. They build assets that continue producing results around the clock, creating scalable growth that traditional selling methods simply cannot match. Most businesses make a critical mistake. They build products and marketing strategies around what customers say they want on the surface. But real innovation begins much deeper. Think of this diagram as an iceberg. At the top are demographics, things like age, location, occupation, and income. Those facts help us describe a customer, but they rarely explain why someone buys. The middle layer represents market gaps. This is where we begin identifying frustrations with existing solutions. Customers may complain about poor service, confusing processes, high prices, or products that simply don't meet their expectations. But the deepest layer is where true opportunity exists. This is the deep ocean. It's made up of emotions, aspirations, fears, lifestyle goals, and problems that customers often struggle to articulate. These are the unmet needs that competitors usually overlook. When we invest the time to understand those deeper motivations through interviews, surveys, listening to customer conversations, and observing behavior, we uncover opportunities that others never see. Businesses that operate at the surface compete on features and price. Businesses that operate in the deep ocean compete by solving problems people genuinely care about. That's where lasting differentiation begins. One of the most powerful concepts in business is that customers should never feel like they've simply completed a transaction. They should feel like they've received far more value than they expected. That's what I call the moral obligation engine. It begins with exceeding expectations. Rather than delivering exactly what was promised, we anticipate customer needs and provide solutions before they're even requested. We create memorable experiences that surprise people in a positive way. The second gear is exceptional service. We remove unnecessary friction, solve problems quickly, communicate clearly, and make every interaction effortless. Customers remember how we make them feel long after they forget the product itself. The third gear is trust. Trust is earned through transparency, consistency, honesty, and keeping our promises every single time. When these three elements work together, something remarkable happens. Customers begin recommending us to others, returning for additional business, and becoming advocates for our brand. At that point, marketing becomes easier because our reputation starts generating momentum on its own. The goal isn't simply to make a sale. The goal is to create such an extraordinary experience that customers feel genuinely confident recommending us to everyone they know. Successful marketing isn't about manipulating people. It's about understanding how people naturally make decisions. This slide highlights 6 proven principles of persuasion that should be integrated into every customer experience. The first is reciprocity. When we provide valuable information, tools, or resources without asking for anything in return, people become more open to continuing the relationship. Second is authority. Customers naturally trust businesses that demonstrate expertise through education, certifications, case studies, and measurable results. Third is liking. People buy from businesses they relate to. Authentic stories, approachable communication, and genuine relationships matter. Fourth is scarcity. When opportunities are legitimately limited, people recognize the importance of acting before they miss out. Fifth is consistency. Small commitments often lead to larger commitments. That's why lead magnets, free consultations, and educational content are so effective. Finally, there's consensus or social proof. Reviews, testimonials, success stories, and customer experiences reduce uncertainty and increase confidence. When these 6 principles work together, they create a customer journey that feels trustworthy, logical, and easy to follow. Now that we've established trust and identified our audience, we need a system that consistently moves people from curiosity to commitment. That's the purpose of the digital funnel. Everything begins with attracting qualified traffic. Whether visitors come through search engines, social media, referrals, or advertising, the first impression must immediately communicate who we help and why it matters. The next step is the landing page. Its purpose isn't to tell our entire story. Its purpose is to encourage one specific action while eliminating distractions. Once interest is established, we offer something valuable in exchange for contact information. This could be a guide, assessment, webinar, checklist, or another resource that solves an immediate problem. With permission to continue the conversation, we begin nurturing the relationship through educational emails, helpful content, and personalized communication that builds confidence over time. Finally, we present a clear offer supported by testimonials, proof, and a simple buying process. A well-designed funnel isn't about pushing people through a sales process. It's about guiding them through a sequence that builds understanding, trust, and confidence until purchasing becomes the logical next step. As your business grows, complexity grows with it. More leads, more customers, more follow-up, and more data can quickly overwhelm even the best teams if every task depends on manual effort. That's why every scalable business needs what I call an operational nervous system. Think of this as the central intelligence of your organization. Every customer interaction flows through one connected process. It begins with lead capture. Whether someone visits your website, engages on social media, or responds to an advertisement, their information enters a centralized CRM where every interaction is recorded. From there, automation takes over. Prospects receive personalized emails, educational content, reminders, and follow-up communications based on their behavior instead of relying on someone to remember every next step. As customers continue through the journey, analytics monitor key performance indicators like customer acquisition cost, conversion rates, lifetime value, and customer retention. Those insights feed back into the system, allowing continuous improvement. The result is a business that becomes smarter over time. Instead of reacting to problems, you're constantly optimizing based on real data. That's how one-to-many businesses achieve consistency, scalability, and sustainable growth. One of the biggest misconceptions in marketing is the belief that you have to be everywhere. In reality, success comes from being exactly where your ideal audience already spends their time. Everything starts with one clear value proposition. That message becomes the foundation of your brand. From there, we adapt how it's delivered depending on the platform. On Facebook and Instagram, the focus is visual storytelling. We capture attention with engaging images, short-form videos, and relatable content that builds awareness and encourages interaction. On LinkedIn, the conversation changes. Here, we demonstrate expertise through thought leadership, professional insights, and educational content designed for decision makers and business professionals. Email marketing remains one of the highest return marketing channels available because it allows us to build ongoing relationships. We can personalize communication, nurture trust over time, and deliver highly relevant content directly to our audience. Notice that while the format changes, the message doesn't. The brand promise stays consistent across every touchpoint. The objective isn't maximum visibility. The objective is meaningful visibility with the people who are most likely to become loyal customers. History consistently shows us that the biggest business success stories rarely come from doing the same things better. They come from solving different problems in different ways. Take Airbnb. Rather than building more hotels, they recognized that travelers wanted authentic, local experiences, while homeowners had unused space. By connecting those two needs, they created an entirely new marketplace. Netflix challenged the traditional rental model by eliminating late fees and making entertainment more convenient through subscriptions and streaming technology. Spotify changed how people consume music by replacing ownership with instant access, making millions of songs available through a simple subscription model. Dollar Shave Club looked beyond expensive retail distribution and asked a simple question: why should buying razor blades be complicated? Their subscription model removed friction and delivered convenience directly to consumers. Each of these companies identified an underserved need, developed a unique value proposition, and built a scalable system around it. The lesson is clear. Market disruption isn't about inventing something impossible. It's about recognizing opportunities that everyone else has overlooked. Dollar Shave Club provides one of the clearest examples of the deep ocean blueprint in action. For years, Gillette dominated the razor market with premium-priced products, expensive replacement cartridges, and traditional retail distribution. The focus was on adding more features while maintaining higher prices. Dollar Shave Club approached the problem differently. Instead of asking how to build a better razor, they asked how to create a better customer experience. Their subscription model removed the inconvenience of repeatedly shopping for replacement blades. Customers received what they needed automatically, saving both time and effort. Their marketing was equally disruptive. Rather than polish corporate advertising, they launched humorous, authentic videos that quickly went viral because people connected with the message. Most importantly, they built a recurring revenue model that created predictable income while increasing customer lifetime value. Eventually, that strategy proved so successful that Dollar Shave Club was acquired by Unilever for approximately $1 billion. Their success wasn't driven by making the best razor. It was driven by making the buying experience dramatically better. As we conclude, I'd like you to look at this final slide as the complete picture of the deep ocean blueprint. Everything begins with research. We continuously identify underserved markets, unmet needs, and opportunities where we can create exceptional value. From there, we develop an irresistible offer supported by the principles of trust, value innovation, and customer-focused solutions. Next, we use one-to-many marketing systems to attract, educate, and convert customers efficiently through automation and digital channels. Operational systems then ensure every customer receives a consistent, high-quality experience, while analytics provide continuous feedback on performance. Those insights become the foundation for ongoing improvement, allowing the cycle to repeat with greater precision and stronger results each time. This flywheel is what creates sustainable growth. Every satisfied customer generates new data, new referrals, stronger brand credibility, and better decision-making. Over time, those improvements compound into a competitive advantage that becomes increasingly difficult to replicate. Thank you for your time and your attention today. I hope this framework has demonstrated that sustainable growth isn't about competing harder. It's about competing differently by creating new value, building scalable systems, and continually improving every part of the customer journey. This has been Confidential Remarks.